No one's going to tell you this, but people make a lot of money and get really rich when the stock market collapses. Like, really rich. These are all the stock market downturns since 1940. So 10 to 20% down from the last all-time high has happened 32 times. So something like this. You see here in the last month, February 19, 2025, stock market was at this level. Then it fell 20% below 5,000. That's roughly a 20% drop. If you look at the stock market since 1985, you can see two little peaks below me. The first one is the dot-com crash. The second one is the credit crisis. Those were roughly 50% drops. Some of you who have eagle eyes might have noticed that the drop that happened recently looks just as bad as the ones below, but they're not on a percentage basis. For example, this 20% drop recently looks as big as the credit crisis, but you have to understand that this is on a percentage basis. So as the numbers get larger, as productivity increases and the stock market goes higher, let's go to an extreme where the S&P 500 is at 50,000. So a 10% drop would be a 5,000 drop. On a percentage basis, it would be only 10%, but it would dwarf the size of the credit crisis below me. Right over here, where this was a 50% drop, the 10% drop at 50,000 would be bigger than this. You don't care about the numerical drop. We're talking about the percentage drop. That's what's most important. Okay, so 10 to 20% has happened 32 times. So you should expect that if you live, for example, 70 years, that every second year, you're going to see a drop like this. Second column from the left, 20 to 30%, that's a drop of a quarter. You should see that 7 times in your lifetime. So every decade, your portfolio should expect to drop by a quarter. You got $1 million, goes down to $750. A 30 to 40% drop has happened 4 times since 1940. So in your lifetime, maybe every 20 years, you'll see a drop where almost half of your investment portfolio is wiped out. Last but not least, 3 times in this period, the stock market has gone down by 40% or more. I've been lucky enough to experience 2 of the 3 with my money invested. Again, dot-com crash around 49%, credit crisis down 55%. They say these 40+% drops happen once in a lifetime. That hasn't been my experience. I've had 2 already, and I'm still relatively young, so maybe I'll go through another one. You should expect to probably go through 1 or 2 of those. If you did not like the most recent 20% decline, then maybe you should start thinking about your asset allocation. Maybe it's not appropriate because going through something double this size may be a little rough. But if you went through it without breaking a sweat, congratulations, you did really well. FYI, I went through 2 of these 3 40% or worse downturns, and that is when you make most of your money. A lot of people say like, well, I want bull markets or stock markets to go up. That's not usually where people get really rich. They get really rich when they experience these 40+ downturns. It sounds counterintuitive, but if you have the temperament to invest through those times, or better, invest more in those times, you will come out very wealthy. I guarantee you 99% of people do not like those downturns. They will either sell or freeze. Like when the stock market went down 20 last week, most people did nothing. Learn the lessons about money that your parents and teachers should have taught you. Download my free newsletter linked off the bio. Good luck. Take care.